reporting on the allegations pushed by Elon Musk that the U.S. government ordered Twitter to suppress stories about Hunter Biden, his laptop, and his emails. Evan Perez joins me now with what a CNN investigation has uncovered in all of this. Evan, let's start with the bottom line here, which is that Elon Musk says that these Twitter files show the government ordered Twitter to censor a New York Post story in, I believe it was October 2020, about Hunter Biden's laptop. Do these internal Twitter files and CNN's reporting show this?
They do not.
The claim is that Twitter was getting paid millions by the FBI. Have you found anything on that?
Yeah, so $3.4 million, according to you, you'll see a tweet that explains that there is perhaps some connection in the relationship between Twitter and the FBI. The FBI says that under federal law, companies are allowed to seek reimbursement for the costs they incur to respond to FBI records requests, for instance, subpoenas, if they have to comply with anything that the FBI is ordering them to supply as part of an investigation. They are allowed to seek reimbursement of that, and that goes across the board for service providers like phone companies and so on. So Twitter is one of those companies, and that figure is what that explains, $3.4 million.
It's time for everybody's favorite new game show, Hack of the Week. I'm your host, Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Our contestants this week: a stand-in little girl for Fox and Friends First, and a stand-in douchebag next to her, along with former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee.
And the FBI confirming it's paying other social media companies in addition to the $3.5 million payment it made to Twitter in exchange for the companies complying with its requests. Quote, while we are not able to speak to specific payments, the government is required to provide reimbursement for reasonable expenses directly related to searching for, assembling, reproducing, or otherwise providing the information responsive to the legal process.
The part that Fox chose to leave out was that the law actually requires the government to reimburse all companies for expenses when they have requests and subpoenas. The douchebag knows that, so does Fox, and that's why he's got 10 points.
Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee joins us now. You know, Mike, I keep getting hung up on this while we are not able to speak on specific payments. So where is the transparency with this government agency? Because those are our taxpayer dollars.
This little girl, too, knows exactly what the money was for. That's 10 points.
I would want to know where they're being spent. Is this legal to do this? But you know, on the flip side, they've added tens of thousands of IRS agents so they can look into our $600, a month Venmo accounts. So what gives here?
Once again, Fox and Friends First, like Fox News in itself, is absolutely full of shit. This girl knows that money was for legal expenses, unless she's accusing the company of fraud. That's 10 more points. Girl, you've got a total of 20. You're in the lead. But now comes in our 5-time returning champion, Mike Huckabee.
You know, $3.5 million of the taxpayers' money going just to Twitter alone. We don't even know yet how much to Facebook and some of the other social media platforms. And the big question, what in the world is it that the FBI thinks it's their business to engage with these companies in the first place?
Mike Huckabee knows very well that the law requires them to reimburse these companies. That's 10 points.
What crime are they looking at? I wish they'd work as hard to find out who killed those college students in Idaho. There's real crime going on in the country, and that's what the FBI ought to be dealing with. This idea that they're going to investigate what someone said on Twitter, good gosh, people, that's not the FBI's job. We have freedom of speech in America. People can say stupid things.
You know very well that's not what happened. That's another 10 points, Mike Huckabee. You're tied with 20.
And unless they are specifically threatening to commit a crime, the FBI shouldn't be involved at all. This is absurd, and I hope taxpayers revolt.
Calling for another MAGA taxpayer revolt. Well, that's just right up your alley, Mr. Huckabee, father of the Huckasans. That's another 10 points. For a grand total of 30, you're now in the lead.
And when Republicans get in the House, by gosh, they better have some serious investigative processes going on and demand answers, but more importantly, demand accountability. Some people at the FBI, they need to be moved to the private sector and have to hunt for a real job.
Calling on FBI agents to be fired. Oh my, once again, our returning champion with another 25 big bonus points, bringing his total to 55. You, Mike Huckabee, are our 6-time returning champion. I'm sorry, douchebag little girl. We have some nice parting gifts for you. And you folks out there, join us next time for Hack of the Week. I'm your host, Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal.